People have called it history's greatest lost treasure, an object of unbelievable power that just vanished from the world over 2,500 years ago. So today, we're going to crack open one of history's most fascinating cold cases. What in the world happened to the Ark of the Covenant? You know, the question itself sounds simple, right? But the answers? Whoa, they are anything but. How could something so important, so revered, just disappear from the pages of history? Well, that's exactly what we're here to dig into. Okay, let's get right into it. Before we can even think about where the Ark might have gone, we've got to understand exactly what we're looking for. So let's open up the case file. So if you go back to the book of Exodus, it describes the Ark as this just incredible masterpiece. It was built from acacia wood, but then it was covered inside and out with pure gold. And it was made to hold the most sacred objects imaginable, the very words of God carved in stone. And listen, this thing wasn't just a fancy box for show. Nope. It was basically a holy treasure chest, a reliquary holding these items that had immense, almost unbelievable religious power. These were the symbols of the covenant itself. And this right here, this is the absolute key to the whole thing. The Ark wasn't just a symbol. People believed it was the literal meeting place between heaven and earth. It was like a direct hotline to the divine. Having it wasn't just about owning a piece of history, it was about having a direct connection to God. All right, so if this thing was that important, how on earth does it just disappear? Let's jump over to the timeline and see exactly where the trail goes ice cold. I mean, for hundreds of years, everybody knew where the Ark was. It was the centerpiece of their faith, a weapon of war, and eventually it became the crown jewel of Solomon's magnificent temple. It was kept in the most sacred room in the entire world. And then, poof, silence. After 587 BCE, it's like it just evaporates from history. So it all comes down to this one single catastrophic year. The Babylonians lay siege to Jerusalem, they burned the city, they destroy the temple, and in this moment of total fire and chaos, the Ark of the Covenant vanishes into a historical black hole. So with the temple gone and the record books empty, the trail just shatters into a bunch of different really fascinating theories. Let's start following our first major lead. All right, theory number one, it's the most straightforward and honestly, maybe the most heartbreaking explanation. The Ark just didn't make it out of the invasion. This theory basically says that to the conquering Babylonian soldiers, the Ark wasn't this sacred, untouchable object. It was a big chunk of gold. In the heat of battle, it was just another treasure to be smashed apart, melted down, and carted off as spoils of war. A really sad ending, but definitely a real possibility. Okay, but what if it wasn't destroyed? What if something else happened? Our next theory, well, it gives us a little more hope. What if it was saved because it was secretly hidden away? The whole idea here, and it's a pretty cool one, is that the priests saw the invasion coming. They knew the temple was going to fall. So they took the Ark down into a secret chamber, deep under the Temple Mount, to keep it safe. But then, the keepers of that secret might have been killed in the invasion, and the location was lost forever. Just imagine, it could still be there, right now, buried in darkness. And the crazy part? It's a spot that is so sacred and so politically charged today that you can't just go in there with shovels, leaving this theory just hanging there, impossible to prove. Okay, hang on, because our third and final major lead is a wild one. It takes us on this incredible journey way south of Jerusalem, and it follows a tradition that is very much alive today. This is the famous Ethiopian claim, and it's a story that is so deeply woven into their national identity. The tradition says that the Ark was brought to Ethiopia for safekeeping, and that today it sits inside the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. It's so holy that absolutely no one is allowed to see it. And get this, it's guarded by one single monk who was chosen to protect it for his entire life. He never, ever leaves that chapel. For the people of Ethiopia, this isn't some dusty old legend. It's a living, breathing truth. So, where does that leave our investigation? Well, we've got three totally compelling, but totally unproven paths. One ends in fire and destruction, another in a secret, dark chamber, and the third in a guarded chapel thousands of miles away. Every single trail goes cold, at least for now. With no definitive proof for any of these theories, you gotta wonder, right? Why do we still care so much? Why has the legend of the Lost Ark captivated people for more than 2,500 years? And the answer is that the Ark has become way more than just a historical object. I mean, think about it. You might have learned about it in a religious text, sure, but maybe you first saw it in a big blockbuster movie. It's become this universal symbol for a lost secret, for hidden power, and for the ultimate historical adventure. At the end of the day, looking for the Ark isn't really just about finding a golden box. It's about this deep human need to connect with something bigger, to reach back and touch a moment in history where the world of the divine and the world of us met. And that leaves us with one last really big question. What are we really looking for here? Is it a physical object made of gold and wood hidden somewhere out there in the world? Or is the true Ark a powerful idea that was never really lost at all? Now that's something to think about.